Hello YouTube, it's Onion here with Hobbies and Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another comic book review. Today we're going to be looking at Onyx, which is a one-shot mini trade paperback. It's about 100 pages long. It's written by Chris Ryle, and Gabriel Rodriguez does the artwork, and Jay Fotos does the coloring. And this is published by Image, but it was initially published under Sizigi, I think is the name of the brand. It's this all the people that have this logo on them, or all the comic books that have this logo on them. And I think this was bought out by Image. I'm not really sure, because this actually came out in 2016 as 4 separate issues, then was collected into a trade paperback, and then has been re-released in this new one-shot $10 format. And it seems kind of interesting. I don't really know too much about what's going on behind the scenes in that sense. This was just what I could glean from, a few different posts online. So, yeah. The demographic here is mature. That's what it says back here. And the genres here are sci-fi and military. It does not have an adaptation. And right off the bat, the rating for this is a 4 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good. Reminded me of a bit of a European comic book. There's this kind of like different style that's really hard to kind of pinpoint. I can't really tell you what it is that makes it feel European, but it just kind of doesn't feel American. And it just is what it is. I don't know. The premise is that there's this alien spore, very similar to kind of the flood, I think is what they're called, from Halo, and it's headed to Earth, and we follow the adventure of this character called Onyx, who's this female and alien cyborg who is going around the universe exterminating this spore, and actually ends up interacting with some Earthling military operations. So it's pretty interesting. The plot line here is pretty linear, pretty direct, but there's some kind of interesting moments here. I don't really want to give too much away. I think that this is a pretty interesting comic, and I definitely recommend that you guys read it yourselves. But so I'll try to avoid major spoilers of some of the interesting things that happen here. But basically, we get introduced to Onyx as they're going through space and kind of interacting with this other planet that looks like these Halo grunts. And they end up killing all these people on this planet because they have all been infected, destroy the planet, and move on to Earth. And on Earth, we see that there's this meteor that crashed and then bounced, which is not supposed to be how it works. And so we get some military operations to go and see what the hell's going on. Onyx arrives in the middle of one of these operations, saves one of the human soldiers, and interacts with this human military team as they arrive at the crater of the meteor, and also meet Onyx for the first time. They eventually decide to work together after some initial confrontation, and they're traveling around the areas of the crater and also near this military base where things that are not human but also not animals exist, and it was kind of this secret. And then some things happen because this spore combines with these creatures, and it also turns out that there was this anti-alien kind of military guy working behind the scenes. And this leads to a major issue in the story, and it's really, really good and very, very interesting. And there's eventually a big battle confrontation versus the spore and these mutates, these not human but not animal things. And it leads to a pretty good ending that leads to Onyx leaving to their next adventure. And I would actually like to see what their next adventure is. But it is self-contained. It is a character that exists, interacts, and then moves on, and it is not connected to anything else. I initially thought this was connected to the Massiveverse because this is basically a Power Rangers character, but it actually happens to not be the case. I would like to see them interact. It would be interesting to see these characters combine, but I actually don't think that it works. The Massiveverse has very clear, very similar kind of vibes between all of the different stories, and this does not really match any of those vibes, and it doesn't really seem plausible or doable to connect these two universes. So it's probably unlikely that it's going to happen, but it would be cool if they managed to make it work, right? terms of characters, we have Onyx, and then we have two soldiers that are relatively important, who are called Loner, who is an Esper of some kind, and Boost, who is a female soldier, who initially dislikes Loner, but as their situation evolves, they actually end up becoming friends. Really good stuff. We have the Boss, who is the military leader that's against Onyx. We have the Spore, this character called Frog, and some different mutate characters that all kind of have this similar vibe to Gorilla Grodd. So, yeah. World building wise, we have this alien Onyx, who is a cyborg. They are called the Pelomosian, and they're this group of alien people from a different planet. They used to be researchers, and they got infected with this spore, but they managed to stave it off for some of their population through this infusion of plasma into their body that then is also used to power their Onyx suits, I guess. Well, actually, I wouldn't really call them Onyx suits because Onyx is the name of this specific character. And yeah, so it's Earth in the future. It's vaguely cyberpunk-esque in the sense that there's like hyper metropolises and there really isn't too many places to engage with the Earth, with nature, and that there is this kind of I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, but also doesn't like seem completely horrible. Like there's this kind of weird vibe about the humans and the way that they're interacting, but it's just pretty interesting, and there's a certain level of human development that has not occurred in real life yet. So yeah, in terms of artwork, I think it's pretty awesome. It's a little bit weird sometimes, but the character designs and the creature designs are very, very interesting. The coloring is really good, and just everything about this looks really, really nice. It does have that like European vibe to it, or like it was on Heavy Metal magazine or something like that. It doesn't really feel like American comic books, but it also doesn't really feel like it's not American comic books. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's a really interesting kind of vibe to it, and I really enjoyed the art style in this a lot. It was really, really good. In terms of fan service or like, sexual content, there really isn't anything here. So this is safe to read for everyone, but there's a lot of violence, so be aware of that. And yeah, it's a 4 out of 5. It was interesting. I liked it. I would like to see more of it. And I think that it was overall worth the $10 that I bought for it, or that I paid for it. If I had paid more than that, I probably wouldn't have liked it. It's about $1 per 10 pages, and I think that's a really good price. So I'm pretty happy with the book. So yeah, that's my review of Onyx. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.